What's up, friends? What's up, friends? Give me 1 second here, and we will get rid of that terrible loop. What's up, Hackman? Glad to have you, pal. Making a couple of quick adjustments here to the ratio up on this y'all, and we should be good to go. As a matter of fact, I am Feta Giant. Welcome to the newly certified official, oh my god, I'm an affiliate channel here at Justin98Rock, the DLP game stream session. I figured we might do ourselves a little something fun today and run it back with a retro stream here at lunch. Last time we did a little Street Fighter 2. Excuse me, Streets of Rage 2. I figured this time we would start doing a little Final Fight. This is my desert island game, by the way. This would be the game I would take to a desert island. So, let's add a couple of credits to this piece and get started. Twisted, a pleasure. Rumbale, pleasure. So yes, if anybody here would like to subscribe to the channel, I wouldn't be mad at you. All right, here we go. Oh, this is strange. I wonder if it's letterbox like this the entire time. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can change the display settings. Okay, they really want to show me this stuff. All right, impress, upright, green, orange, none. That's what we're going for. Very, very cool. All right, let's back this bitch up. And I would like to apply the changes. By the way, before we continue the game, tomorrow is the official DLP agenda, Justin98Rock. Wednesday night stream, 7 o'clock. We're going to do Cyberpunk, and we are tomorrow on the stream. I'm going to announce who won the Constellation Edition of Starfield, the PC, Xbox, Game Pass Game of the Year. Even though, I mean, some people are excited for Assassin's Creed and some other titles, and the Cyberpunk update, and Life of Pi, and Alan Wake, whatever. Starfield, super popular. Someone tomorrow night on the stream is going to win one that was originally $4.99. Now it's going to be yours for free. All you got to do is be a part of this bad boy. Twisted, I hope you do get that e-gift card and can sign on. All right, let's get up in this piece. So like I said earlier, this was my go-to desert island game. If I could be stuck playing one game for some odd reason, it would be Final Fight. I love it. My boy Fat Chris out there, he listens to the program. He might be one of the best Final Fight players on the freaking planet. Fat Chris, I hope one day I can see you inside of the stream. Glad to have everybody in here this afternoon for a little lunchtime jaunt. I do love some of the names of these characters, too. Like, Bread, Girth, Hollywood. Like, that dude just names Bread. This is my brother, Roll, and this is my father, Hoagie. Come on, grab it. Oh, son of a bitch. Now, if you joined me on the last retro stream last Friday, you'll know that we were talking about why I preferred Streets of Rage 2 to Final Fight, the SNES edition, because my boy here, Guy, who is also badass in the Alpha series, they just cut out of the Street Fighter, or excuse me, Final Fight on the Super Nintendo, and it was just so frustrating. You felt like you got half a game. Twisted Mechanic, everybody a big round of applause for my man, Twisted Mechanic, the first official subscriber of Justin98Rock's Twitch stream channel. My buddy Wells is going to be hooking me up with some graphics soon, so Twisted Mechanic, I hope you can accept it for now. Just my love and appreciation for you subscribing. Thank you very much, man. It means quite a bit to me. I do appreciate that. As always, I appreciate the insight. If anybody feels like things don't sound great, audio is off, let me know. I feel like I've got the settings somewhat dialed in, but if not, reach out. Say, hey, Schlegel, what's the deal? You sound like you're talking through an AM FM stereo. You sound like you're talking to me through an old man's walkie-talkie. Out! Now. Damned. He was not named Damned in the Super Nintendo version. I think they changed his name. What's up, pal? Sharon! What's up? Oh my god. Look at all my friends hanging out today. This is awesome. Hey, I'm not sure if anybody listened to the show yesterday, but if you did, I appreciate all of you not minding me losing my mind in the 9 o'clock hour during neglected texts when I proceeded to lose my ever-loving shit on a guy named Nate. Apologize for that. Oh, that guy sucked. Hey, you want some, after this stage, I'm going to give you guys some behind the scenes on what happened after the show with that. This is why you tuned into the Justin98 Rock DLP Agenda Twitch stream channel. I'm going to give you some stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Not even on DLP, not even on JSS. Because I appreciate the hell out of you. Hell yeah. What's up, Scoots? Okay, now, I'm pausing the title. And, by the way, I'm going to probably turn ads off at some point. I appreciate you guys patronizing my page, being here, subscribing. Scoots, we're going to skate, my man. I'm going to turn some ads off just to keep it clear. So, yeah, if you guys listened to the show yesterday, we are, what's today, 17th? 17th, I believe. And on the program yesterday, on the 16th of October, kind of lost my nuts on a guy named Nate who was talking about people that go to therapy being babies, being children. He wrote a bunch of other stuff via the text that I will not repeat, but needless to say, it was unkind. And then I got a hold of his number after the show, and I called him twice. I actually called to apologize for sort of screaming, losing my mind. I called him some names. He called me some stuff. It doesn't make it right. Eye for an eye leaves the world blind. I tried. So just know that after the show yesterday, I did try and get a hold of that Nate guy to maybe talk things out in a way that Scott very intelligently, so Scott has a good head on his shoulders, told me to maybe, I don't know, maybe not pop off quite as quickly as I did last time. Sort of got wrapped up in the moment. But know that after the show yesterday, I did try and call Nate. And he refused to pick up. So now I need to start mailing him a bunch of strange magazines. Enjoy Cat Fancy, bitch. Let's get back to the game. Round 1. Clear. Yeah, he was kind of stuck in the past, my man. Not a lot you can do. You tried. Not saying I was any better popping off, but hey, sometimes the situation calls for it. Has anybody here ever played the Sega CD version of this? I talked about this the last time on the Streets of Rage 2 retro stream last Friday. Thank you to everybody that turned in. If you missed it, it is on the Justin98 Rock Twitch stream homepage. I talked about, obviously, the botched SNES version. I didn't talk about the Guy version, where they did release a version on the Super Nintendo with Guy in it. And oddly enough, that it still, I don't believe, had 2-player, and it cut Cody out, which I thought was odd. They just could not somehow cram all 3 characters onto the Super Nintendo. But the Sega CD version, a woefully poorly used system. Hambone, thank you so much. Hey, 3 cheers for Hambone. By the end of this week, because again, I'm still getting everything set up, there's going to be emotes. There's going to be some special stuff that you can get. There'll be some rewards for bits, yada, yada. We're going to get the channel packed and ready to rock. So thank you so much to my 3 subscribers. I can't thank you enough. Oh, son of a bitch. He just sat on my face with that big underbite ass jaw of his. The Sega CD version of Final Fight was great. It did not have the color palette of the Super Nintendo. It didn't have the color palette of the arcade. What it did have was a bunch more enemies on screen and a badass survival mode where you and a friend could play against each other. And the best part about it, the arranged soundtrack. If anybody played the Sega CD version of Final Fight, the arranged soundtrack, it's almost worth listening to in the car. Hey, somebody in chat make me feel better about myself. Does anybody else listen to video game soundtracks in the car? If 3 people tell me what they listen to soundtrack-wise, because I'm a little embarrassed that I do it, I'll tell you what I listen to in the car. Not all the time, but occasionally when I need inspiration. For example, maybe I'll listen to something on the way to my show at Magooby's next week. Ow! I was never good at this game, as much as I love it. Hell yeah. The original soundtrack. What's Stewie? What are you listening to? Mick Gordon stuff. Dude, the Doom games. Dude, the new Doom games? Get out of here. GoldenEye pause music. Have you seen the GoldenEye pause music meme of when it was created? Just what a banger that was. GoldenEye pause music. Honestly, you could make love to that. There might be a child or two out there that their conception happened during the GoldenEye pause music. I am a huge fan of the Ace Combat games. And there's a guy, search, I think it's Assault or Liberation of Grace Maria from Ace Combat 6 or 7, but he plays a 12-string electric guitar. Search Ace Combat, Grace Maria, metal. And this guy does a version of it that I swear to God, if I ever somehow woke up with an entirely new manly body capable of combat, it's the song I would walk out to the octagon in. Like, if somebody ever put me up in a plane to be able to pilot the thing somehow, I would listen to that, like What's-His-Nuts from Iron Eagle, who had the cassette deck taped to his thigh. If you listen to this, something real bad's happened to me. Shout out Chappie, R.I.P. Shot down behind enemy lines. Oh no. Want to know who dropped that knife to this day? Not quite sure. Oh, also, not sure if anybody is familiar. There is a few Final Fight variants, and like I said on the last retro stream, I was talking them up pretty nicely. Thank you to everybody hanging out right now. I talked about Super Nintendo, Final Fight Guy, Sega CD, Final Fight 2, 3, and Final Fight Revenge. Oh, dude, the Batman Nintendo soundtrack? Get out of here. Yesterday, while assembling a Lego kit, I listened to the Batman NES soundtrack. That's where you're at in life? You're in a good place right now. You're in a warm, comforting place. You're putting together blocks. You're listening to NES soundtracks. I believe that game was made by Sunsoft, if I'm not mistaken. But another Final Fight property that I don't know how many people in the United States own this game, and I have to say I'm pretty proud that I do. It was not great. It was a pretty big hot cup of farts. Did anybody here ever own a Sega Saturn? 32-bit, white, import edition of Final Fight Revenge. Capcom made a 3D fighter of Final Fight on, I think it was like the early Rival Schools engine. So we're talking blocky. Like, this game made Virtua Fighter 1 look like goddamn Soul Calibur. Hackman, Christmas is coming. You deserve a Saturn. Educate that beautiful child of yours in the classics. Play a little Panzer Dragoon, play a little Knights. But Final Fight Revenge on the Sega Saturn sucked. Rumbale! 3 cheers for Rumbale subscribing. I am 1 away from my goal of 5 today. That is amazing. And yes, tomorrow night on the live stream, I think I'm going to have a buddy of mine help me behind the scenes. Might gift a couple of subscriptions. Means the world. Thank you so much for the support, Rumbale. But Final Fight Revenge, look up that title. It was technically a sequel to Final Fight that, if anybody knows how this game ended, and spoiler alert, you knocked a man in a wheelchair, shooting you with a crossbow out of a mansion window. Real weird. I mean, Final Fight never had much in the way of a story, but he comes back to life. Belger, however you want to say it. Hey, Twisted Mechanic! What's up? Oh, dude, did you gift one? Hey, 3 cheers for Twisted Hook and I am Opie Taylor up with a subscription. Thank you so much. Again, get ready for some fresh graphics. There's going to be emotes. There's going to be giveaways. All that sort of stuff as I get my legs under him. Deb, a pleasure, ma'am. If I make my way to Ravenswalk this year, we will be taking some photos. Tell your beautiful father I said hello. He is a sweet, sweet, sweet man. But at the end of Final Fight Revenge on the Sega Saturn, Zombie Belger comes back to life, and that's the final boss. That's the M. Bison of Final Fight Revenge. It is so effing weird. Also, the super moves in Final Fight Revenge. Machado, Deb, you sweetheart, thank you so much. Appreciate that. We've now broken 5, so 3 cheers to Deb. Deb and I always take a picture on Ravens Walk. I appreciate you. Watch some of the super moves from Final Fight Revenge. I am just cat farts at this game. They're so, so weird. I always wondered if they would be doing another Final Fight at some point. The same way Streets of Rage got the number 4 treatment, where the beautiful hand-drawn graphics. I'd love to see somebody get back in there, take that Final Fight property, come on, and do another beautiful hand-drawn game. I was always hoping Capcom would do it. I'm not going to be there Sunday, Deb. I apologize. I have an event, and by event, I mean I have a 4-year-old's birthday party that I'm being told I'm going to. So if I'm told I'm going to it, I'm going to it. But does anybody here remember the Super Street Fighter II HD remake on Xbox 360 and the PSN network, where they hand drew new graphics over the old Street Fighter characters? And I thought it looked awesome. I love the graphic styling. I thought it looked so slick. And I was hoping they were going to do that treatment to other Capcom properties, and they never did. And I was a little bummed out about that. I feel like Final Fight would have been a perfect candidate for that. Web Malu? What's up, pal? Oh, dude, the Metal Gear Solid 2 soundtrack. Pick a Metal Gear Solid soundtrack. It's incredible. God, I've always wanted to do this to one of the cars out there. All right, here we go. Just one day in a parking lot, half in the bag, I just want to walk up to a Mercedes-Benz and just beat the ever-loving shit out of it. Now, that would actually get you sent to prison, but still. God, I hope nobody ever does this to my Genesis in the Jimmy's parking lot. Sure, I made fun of your wife at a bacon and beer. Please don't walk outside and beat the hell out of my Jones Junction. Genesis G80. Oh my God. Webb, John X. I'm losing track of people. We on the hype train? We on the hype train right now? Oh my God. What's up? Oh, you guys rule. Hell yeah. This is amazing. You guys are... My God. Oh my God. I don't deserve y'all. I genuinely don't deserve y'all. This is awesome. What's up, Deb? All right. All right, here we go. Let's get up in them cheeks. All right. First person to mention the name of the boss in this stage gets a shout out tomorrow on the air. First person to name the twisted, crooked cop boss at the end of the stage gets a shout out on air tomorrow. Go. John, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Trying to make some content for you guys. I hate that word. Why am I saying content? I'm trying to play video games with my friends online, and I'm having a blast, and you guys are making me have a blast with this stuff. Okay, first person to name the boss from this stage, you get yourself a shout out tomorrow on the air. He was a twisted cop. Out. Come here. Out. I'm telling you, this game needs an HD remake. Capcom, if you're out there, I want a remake of this. I'd love a remake of the original Strider. I'm thinking about the next time I do one of these, I'll probably do a retro stream on Friday again. The big stream's going to be tomorrow night, 7 to midnight. But the retro stream, I'm thinking I might do, like, kind of keep a Capcom thing going on. Think I might. It is a cop. Do you remember his name? What was the cop's name at the end of the stage? The crooked cop who was on the Mad Gear payroll. Bonus points if you remember his special health item that you can only get from him. Frankly, it was kind of gross. I know my boy Fat Chris would know it. Fat Chris, somewhere out there, you're watching me play this and you're going insane because you are one of the best Final Fight players in the world. If anybody listens to the program, there's a guy named Fat Chris. And frankly, he's not that fat. He's just kind of cuddly. He lives in Maryland, and he's apparently like one of the best Final Fight players in the world. Like, he knows the timing on when to pick up the bonus items. So you get like more points and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to give it to you in a second if nobody knows. And Deb, I'm just going to give you the shout out. I feel like Deb's earned it. Eddie E. EDI.E. Eddie E was the name of the evil, crooked cop at the end of the stage who would also chew gum. And if you picked up the gum that he spit out of his mouth, you got health back, which I always thought was so gross. Because he was a big, gross-looking bastard. Officer Bad Pants, yes. Officer Grouper Trouts. Your crotch smells like the catch of the day. Officer Mackerel Nuts. I do like the name Officer Bad Pants. But right when I walk through the door, something terrible happens. I'm whisked away to an underground cage fighting tournament where I have to take on all of Ondor's family. Oh no. Grandpa Ondor, Father Ondor. That's what I thought the names, the initials at the beginning stood for. F. Andor. Yeah, frankly, F. Andor. Andor can S my D. I think you took on, like, Uncle Andor at some point. By the way, that's 100% Stewie what that is. It's Japan loves to be heavily inspired by stuff. And by heavily inspired, I mean just flat out rip crap off. We talked about it on one of the prior streams where if you played the Revenge of Shinobi Sega Genesis edition in Japan, Batman was in it, the Terminator was in it, Spider-Man was in it, and no one got permission. Like, nobody asked Marvel or DC, like, we like these characters, let's just put them in. I'm not sure what copyright laws are like in Japan, but apparently they're playing fast and loose. So when those games got released in the United States, they had to change that to, like, some hairy-looking character, and Spider-Man was just a ninja or something like that. And I always loved the name changes. Yes, Stewie. M. Bison, I think, was Balrog in Street Fighter 2, or was he Vega? Sagat was Sagat. That's right. M. Bison was the final boss of Street Fighter 2, but he was actually our Balrog in the United States. M. Bison stood for Mike Bison, as in Mike Tyson. I don't know why I know all this dumb shit. My mind is, I'm slowly going crazy. So thank you for walking with me hand in hand on this. Oh, 100% Stewie. Fun fact too, I actually played and owned Street Fighter 1. One of my arcade 1-ups out there actually has a Street Fighter 1 ROM, and it sucks. But I owned it when it came out on the TurboGrafx 16 CD Turbo Duo system. It was called Fighting Street in the United States. You can only play Ryu. 2 players could play Ken. And one of the first bosses or fighters you face in the one-player mode was a boxer that looked a lot like Balrog. And his name was actually Mike. You fought Mike and Joe. Very creative names in the 80s, Capcom. And people thought that it was the same guy in Street Fighter 2. Turns out, canonically, different guy. If you ever get a chance, out of curiosity, play Street Fighter 1 or Fighting Street, if you play the TurboGrafx version, it sucks. I wish I knew this much about, like, investing. That'd be great. No, I know Final Fight trivia. Meanwhile, my son will never go to college because I invested it all in crypto. Son of a bitch. I'm dumb. And you notice I've adjusted some of the graphics on the stream, not trying to make it too cluttered, but put that cameo banner up. Ah, here he is, Eddie E, the crooked cop that after a while, he really gets up in his feelings and starts shooting at you with a gun. Not fair. Oh. Also, you know, I respect the hell out of the boys in blue. Shout out BPD. Shout out to my buddy in the Force, Mr. Tucci. That's not his real name, but that's sort of my nickname for him. I don't recall any actual police officers showing that much greasy, twisted chest hair. I mean, if you had a slightly better body, like our friend Simmons here, or maybe Cody's jacked ass, Cody looking like a personal trainer, Oh, here he comes. It's bullet time. Also, look at his gun. It looks to appear to be whittled out of wood. I do like how the fact that you could actually have him shoot other members of the Mad Gear, which I'm not sure how Mad Gear management felt about that. You know, you're kind of on the payroll and you're shooting your brothers and sisters. Yeah, those crypto bros, very convincing. Hey, they say it'll come back around. I don't know. I got what I got. I'm not going to sell any of it. John, you don't have to say how much, but which ones did you buy? Everybody got the Bitcoin, has got themselves the Ethereum. Which one ruined your family's financial future? And for those that never played the Super Nintendo version, this here was the stage that was cut from the game, whose final boss was the French assassin by the name of Rolento, who also appeared in Street Fighter Alpha 2. Again, I wish I didn't know this stuff. I wish I knew more about investing. Yeah, I never, you know what, the Dogecoin didn't get me, dude, but I definitely got bit by the Shiba Inu bug. I got bit with Shiba Inu back in 2021 and thought like, oh, well, this is fun. I'm only going to spend $50, and by the end of the year, I'll have a Lamborghini. No, by the end of the year, I just didn't have $50. So that was nice. Should have just given that $50 away here on the channel. Hey, if anybody has any ideas too, by the way, for channel giveaways, I am all about it. You're right, Stewie, 100%. This went straight to the level after this, which I think was the park, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I hated this stupid stage because you wait for Andor's dumbass. There we go. Which the boss of was Abigail, which I do believe was featured in Street Fighter V as one of the single largest characters Capcom has ever put in a Street Fighter game. The character of Abigail, who used entire monster truck tires as Ultimate Warrior armbands. Yet again, why don't I know about Roth investing? What the hell is a CD? Checking account? Never heard of it. I get paid in cash every 2 weeks. Nickels. They hand it to me in a big bag. The bag is usually sweaty. I personally requested it for it to be sweaty. Rick runs a lot of marathons. He works up a real nice lather. And don't ever tell anybody this outside of the stream. You keep it quiet here. Rick's awesome. We love busting Rick's balls on the air. You should be so lucky to have a Rick in your life. I'm not sure what everybody else's bosses are like. Hackman, you've told me some stories about some nightmare bosses, brother. I'm telling you, one day, Hackman, with what you've described to me, you're going to be the dude that Josh is going to do a story about having won the Powerball, one ticket, full winner, walked away, lump sum. And, buddy, I'm going to show up at your door in a blonde wig with a couple of cantaloupe stuffed down the back of my pants, and this boy cake is yours. Hey, Rick! Oh, my God, maybe I should make custom Hey Rick emotes for this thing. That would absolutely drive him up a wall. Secret investor of the DLP. Yeah, what if Rick is actually the money man hidden behind the DLP? No, the money man behind the DLP is all of you that subscribe to the Patreon page, patreon.com/thedlpagenda. And the other money man would be Randolph Rice. Reach out to Randolph Rice. Watching this reminds me of the early days working Sega Genesis games for my brother, and I played Streets of Rage. Eternal Champions! Man, I wanted to like Eternal Champions. That game was just, you know what it was? You know what the problem with Eternal Champions was? It really looked cool, and I'm glad that they didn't try and be a Street Fighter clone. There were so many Street Fighter clones back then that it just, everybody, power moves and whatever else trash was, fighting masters. It's that every special move was a charge move. You had to like hold down or hold back. And obviously everybody wanted to do fatalities. That was a big thing that they took from Mortal Kombat. Well, to do a fatality in Eternal Champions, you had to have like a character exactly in the right spot on a stage when you hit them. And it was just too difficult. You like the summoning bell? Hell yeah. Stewie digging on the summoning bell. Thank you again to everybody that subscribed to the channel today. I am now an affiliate. Thank you to everybody, by the way, that helped me on the journey to affiliate. Oh, there's Rolento throwing grenades. You son of a bitch. You tiny little hunchback French Donatello wannabe looking son of a bitch. But yes, you are now able to subscribe to the channel, and yes, in the coming days, I'm going to be turning off ads. I thank you so much. Maybe one day if I happen to reach partner, I'll turn them back on, get a couple of views. But for now, I just want to hang out with you guys. It means the world to me that you decided to subscribe, so I'm not going to try and have you sit through a whole bunch of stuff to watch me fumble shit my way through a bunch of old 16-bit titles. And there he is, you old bastard. Oh. I never understood the blue shadow, even though I read once in an article that if anybody ever played Super Street Fighter 2, when they officially added super moves, that Relento's shadow here was the inspiration behind the super moves in Super Street Fighter 2, when you could do, like, you know, super hurricane kicks, super flash kicks, super spinning pile drivers. Thank you so much again, Deb. Thank you, Scoots. Thank you, everybody. Now what we're going to try and do is get this thing to partner. Partner's going to be a little harder. Partner, I have to get 75 concurrent viewers on average, which is not going to be easy. That'll probably be a next year or two goal. My buddy Wells is helping me out with that. By the way, if you haven't done it yet, there's a guy by the name of Wells. I'm going to always shout him out, and I'll continue to. He's helping me with all the ins and outs of how Twitch works. He has an amazing channel. He does a lot of Madden. He does a lot of NBA games. He does some Assassin's Creed. The dude does amazing custom graphics, and he is helping me out. So give that guy a follow and tell him Justin sent you. Oh, no. Got your ass. And then he blows himself up. Not cool, pal. We could have talked things out. Ah, yes. The Bay Area. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. Time to bust some glass. When you hear the glass, it's your ass. Justin316 says, I watched a bunch of hentai earlier. Oh, hell yeah. Shout out tentacle porn. Mm-hmm. What's up, schoolgirl outfits and strange giggling? Oh, hell yeah. Justin315 just says, I went through a whole roll of paper towels watching a schoolgirl with tentacles for arms play with a bunch of dudes' balls somewhere in a flaming lava flow. Oh, hell yeah. That might become a character on the channel. Hentai Stone Cold. Okay. I'm kind of into Hentai Stone Cold. Hey, don't forget, tonight, a new DLP agenda. If you're listening to this after the fact, every Tuesday night, the DLP agenda. And tonight, at DLP agenda on YouTube, we believe we're going to have our first YouTube live stream. Usually we tape portions of the show and we put it up on the new DLP agenda YouTube page. Tonight, we believe I'm going to go over there and do myself a little troubleshooting, run a test sample show. So if you're over at the DLP agenda YouTube page and you see an odd stream where nothing's happening, that's us testing the equipment. All of your money, for example, what you're doing here by subscribing to the page, we're just putting right back into the channel. 7:15 kickoff. And you're going to be able to watch the show at the YouTube page. You'll still be able to go to dielaughingpodcast.com. But yeah, we're hoping to kick it up a notch with the brand new YouTube stream where you'll be able to chat. I'm sorry, I'm growing fresh nose hairs while we're playing the game. I'm not sure what the hell happens when you turn 40, but your body's like, hey, let's get rid of all that hair on your head and move it down to your balls and nostrils. You know, where people want to see it. Ugh, never get old, Deb. Stay 23 forever. And also, October 27th, 28th, Spread the Word 27th, a special night of comedy with myself, the Bussy Boys, Eric Woodworth, Tommy Simbazo. They're recording an album that night. And one of my favorite local comics, unsung hero, Tom Nutty, he's going to be on the bill as your host. Tom is just about as lovely a local comic as you could get. And then I'll be up there farting, scooting, booting at the end. We're giving away tickets all week on Justin Scott and Spiegel and beautiful Wendy at night. I can't wait until Navy beams become a form of currency. Oh, this is the Brandon that I think it is. Was it a $70 cart? Hey, somebody go look that up. Stewie, we were talking about at one of the prior streams I think you were a part of, that people are these days talking about, oh my God, I can't believe it. Games are $69.99. Dude, I don't want to hear it. N64 games, $69.99, $79.99. I was a Phantasy Star fan. Does anybody remember one of the last Sega Genesis games, Phantasy Star 4? Those sons of bitches charged $99.99, $100, 100 bones for Phantasy Star 4, which, by the way, awesome game, Phantasy Star 4, the end of the millennium. But they would charge based on like people's excitement for the game, which was, I don't know, kind of scummy. People still bought it. My stupid ass did. I did what you did, Stewie. I was subscribing. Or excuse me, I was mowing lawns. Oops. Subscribing slipped out. Thanks, everybody. And at the end of the year, we're going to be doing a completely nude stream. Everybody from the DLP is going to be hanging out on air, and we're going to be butt naked, and we're all going to get fired from our jobs. What's that? Okay, I'm receiving word from DLP and JSS management that the live nude stream has been canceled. But who knows? One day if 98 Rock finally wises up and realizes I've been stealing money from them for years by just farting my way through their airwaves, maybe I will do a live nude stream. Oh, we'll be broadcasting on OnlyFans. Again, I apologize for it looking like I just did cocaine earlier. I got a nose hair up in there the size of an Arby's curly Q fry. I need Ving Rhames to come over here and Wallace this damn thing out of my head. You feel that? That's nose hair fucking with you. Brandon, come for the fun, stay for the friendship, and stay the night for the unexpected pregnancies. Because if you stay the night over here, you're leaving with a child. That's my promise to you. You leaving with a butt baby is the Justin Schlegel guarantee. If you stay the night in this halfway house, you leave filled to the brim with Justin's homemade body bisque. From farm to butthole. One day on one of these streams, maybe like a I got it. I might do a special for affiliate subscribers only stream one day. I will tell you about some of the JSS uncensored ideas that we could not do. There are a few uncensored ideas that we just suggested to management that almost got us written up. The mere suggestion almost gotten written up. I've had a coworker in my ear for the past 30 minutes. I missed everything. Webb, everyone got naked, man. We're all waiting for you. We laid down a tarp. Everyone got buttered up. Brandon took a running start. Stewie held his butt cheeks open. Deb was making snacks. John was watching the door. Come on, Scoots was out front with a machete fighting off any people that might want to get in here and stop the all butter fun fest. You got to find a new job, Webb. It's my new stream on weekends. I can't believe it's not Butthole. Featuring a piece of uncooked calamari. Oh, son of a bitch. El Gato, which, fun fact, in Spanish means the gato. What were some of people's favorite beat 'em ups when they were younger? I know we've been doing Streets of Rage, Final Fight. I know there's some other ones that I know I'm missing out on. I talked about River City Ransom on the SNES a game or two ago. That was a hell of a beat 'em up. When we were talking about why the Nintendo didn't have more beat 'em ups. You know what? Some of the beat 'em ups, like a Final Fight or a Streets of Rage, hold up. Mwah, lovely. Other ones don't. And one of the ones that has not, and it bums me out, is Double Dragon. Basically the granddaddy of them all. I know some people say, you know, Renegade, Target Renegade came out first. Year, Kung Fu. Not good, man. The original Double Dragon, I got on an emulator and I was playing, and God, it was janky. Didn't care for it. I got it on my iArcade and I played it like once. You know, Stewie, that's a great question. Does Slaughterhouse, aka Splatterhouse, originally in the arcades, then the TurboGrafx 16, then the Sega Genesis for part 2 and 3, does that count as a beat 'em up? I'll count it in like an in-between. It's like an action platformer beat 'em up. Because there weren't like regular ass enemies on screen, but that was a pretty great game. I also remember that being one of the games that made the TurboGrafx 16 look edgy as hell. We were like, yo, I'm over here playing Sonic and Mario, and meanwhile, you're playing as what looks to be Jason Voorhees in Splatterhouse. Pretty great. I've never seen one of them in the wild. Renegade, SNES, another fun one. The only problem with Renegade is you can punch in one direction, kick in the other. It was hard for me to get used to that control scheme. But yes, I did play the hell out of that. Well, what's up, pal? Okay. A couple of firebugs here. Reminds me of deceased producer Mike Anderson. Noted firebug. Big Bertha. That's right, Big Bertha, that miserable, gigantic woman. She was horrendous. She was inside of one of the, it was like a hotel or something like that, or some like apartment complex. X-Men, yes, how am I forgetting? My head is stuck thinking about console games. You want to jump over to the arcade? It's such a bummer because I understand it was supposed to come out for the 32X of all systems, which, yes, of course, my stupid ass owned. Alien vs. Predator. Alien vs. Predator from Capcom on the CPS2 arcade board, the Capcom Power System. How bad-ass was Alien vs. Predator in the arcade? You could play as a human. You play as Dutch. I think you could play as like a girl named like Kurosawa or something. She was super fast. She was like the guy of the game. And then you could play as like a hunter predator, a stalker predator. It had a cool story, had a bunch of weird aliens in the thing. Dude, that game was awesome. Taffy Montgomery, fight for fun. Brandon, DM me, Brandon. I might have an idea for you on one of my comedy shows. I think it's time. If you haven't, give me the turkey. Give me the turkey. 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 I think I need Brandon on one of my shows soon. There's some people that make us laugh. Zach from Westminster is always good for a chuckle. But Brandon, what we used to do... Can I tell you why we canceled, by the way? We didn't cancel it. We just haven't done it in a while. We used to do a thing called Open Mic Friday, where we had the open mic feature on the app. Was that we got a lot of fun messages, but Brandon's were so good that it was hard for anybody else to have one worth playing. So we had to like pump the brakes on it a little bit because Brandon's were just so freaking funny. Brandon, if you've never done stand-up, buddy, dcstandup.com. Go online and find an open mic near you. Hey, guys. I still have that sound effect in the system. Hey, guys. It's... What'd you say? Scooties and booties. Balls and brawls. Final fight. Toe tap into the bathroom edition. Streets of barely contained man love rage. Mighty craving for a dude's thumb edition. Oh! Double dragging these balls across your chin. Yeah, imagine that. You had a segment that you were too good at. We had to cancel this segment because you were literally too good at it. It'll come back one day. We just had to give it a little time off. It's like we used to do Monday Morning Confessions. We used to have to do Weapon Wednesdays. Hagar's Pile Driver did rule. And yes, someone was asking earlier about the possibility of doing some multiplayer sessions with people. Yes, I'm going to have Eric in for some stuff. I'm going to have my boys from Dork Dynasty, Chris, Mr. Woodworth, and then eventually some of y'all. If you're just joining the stream, tomorrow on the 7 o'clock stream, it's what we call in radio a benchmark. Oh, there's that roided up son of a bitch, Abigail. Tomorrow on the stream, I am going to be announcing the winner of the Starfield Constellation Edition, Special Edition, $4.99 retail price. You get the game, you get the watch, you get the carrying case, you get the patch, you get all that stuff. All you got to do is just be a subscriber to the channel, and that's what it takes. Not even a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Just anybody that follows me here on Twitch, you are in the running. I want to make it available to everybody, so thank you. You kind of did just set off a pipe bomb. You know what? That was another one. Can I tell you? Give me 1 second. I'll give you a... Oh, no! Aha! That's right. I ran out of continues. I had to add some more. Like a cheap little bitch. Scoots, you're in the running, buddy. We had to stop doing Listener of the Month because someone who will go unnamed, find me at a live event, I'll tell you, got so up in their feelings that they weren't one that we pulled it because they wrote an absolutely insane email. I got to tell you, if you got 100 listeners, 99% of y'all are awesome, and then one person just goes full on Buffalo Bill. And frankly, I'm not trying to spend my winter at the bottom of a well lotioning myself up so he can make a raincoat out of my back meat. Besides, I don't like poodles, and I don't like goodbye horses. Would you twitch with me? I'd twitch with me. It puts the tier 1 subscription on its skin, or it gets the lotion again. That's right, I'll lotion you up. Ow! Yeah, Deb, you'd think that people would be happy. What's up, C-Bell? Sorry if you had to watch an ad prior to the stream, but guess who's an affiliate? And there are now subscription options. Yes! There's going to be some emotes. There's going to be some special stuff on here. I'm working out everything that we can do. I'm going to try and do some giveaways. I know a lot of people, they stream, they put some emotes up, some... You know, you get an opportunity to have some special audio files played, some GIFs get displayed. I'm gonna try and lean in. I'm gonna try and bring some of my radio, over here and do giveaways. I want y'all to win some stuff. Tucked my garbanzos to pretend that I was something else. Jesus, man. In the cast of Steel Magnolias, I'm Shirley MacLaine. I hope no one's standing behind me so they could see my gross white veely avocados. Oh yeah. Look at my muff, and then check out my walnuts if you're on my 6. If you're on my 6, you can see my beanbag. Oh yeah. Out! Stop! Come on. Oh man, I feel like that little girl sitting on the sofa in front of those 5 dudes. Smoke Break Podcast. Hey, it's my buddies in the Smoke Break. Yes, there is going to be a DLP live tonight on the YouTube channel at DLP Agenda on YouTube at DLP Agenda. You got to go youtube.com/@DLP Agenda. They added ats to YouTube, which is kind of frustrating. Yes, we're setting up the equipment tonight. I'm going to be getting to Joe Robinson's DLP headquarters studio early. You can still listen to the DLP Agenda however you so choose to. Spotify, you can't do it on Stitcher anymore, which I loved. iTunes, wherever you get your podcast from, and you can listen to it live on dielaughingpodcast.com. But tonight we are going to try and have a live video stream in high definition. We sprung for the 1080 camera. We didn't feel like we had quite enough money in the coffers for the 4K one yet. So if this works, yeah, there's going to be a live chat. Yep. There will be a live chat. I actually mulled the idea of doing gaming on YouTube, but the setup was a little, how do I put it? A little more cramped than on Twitch. And Twitch is a platform built for streaming. And I think YouTube has a great streaming platform, but it seemed like onboarding onto Twitch was a little easier. So maybe one day we'll also do some game streaming on there. But for now, the DLP Justin 98 Rock Twitch will be for the gaming, and the YouTube channel will be for the podcast streaming. We're trying, dude. Appreciate you, Smoke Break. Appreciate to everybody that subscribed to the Tier 1 subscription tonight. I was hoping to get 5. I think I got 8. That's amazing, man. I can't thank you guys enough. Oof. Joe and HD, I'm sorry. If I can, we'll see if we can have... Okay, to pull the curtain back a little bit. We're going to get one camera to get it up and started. Then we're going to be working on switching software. And then we're going to get 3 cameras on each member of the show and see if we can do some live switching. So we will see, my man. But we just want to get one camera done well now. And after that, we will move to a multi-camera setup. Basically what the excellent folks at 98 Rock do with Livewire. Also, big shout out to everybody at 98 Rock, especially my brothers Josh, Scott, Stambo. We don't talk about it much on the air, But they have been very, very cool about me trying to do this. Got no static from the boys. They said, hey, go and find your fortune, young man. Well, I already have at 98, but being able to have some fun on here. Put subtitles only for Joe, like the beginning of Star Wars. That would be amazing. Like one of those British crime drama films where it's in English, but it's still subtitled. Oi, so there we were, over at Gramps' retirement community. Next thing I know, this bird walks into the cafeteria while I'm trying to enjoy my tapioca pudding. Next thing I see, she's got her gigantic underwear around her legs. She's queefing up a storm. It ruins my shrimp bisque, and I'm not able to go online and talk to my Yakunis at night. It was an awful state of affairs. Quite frankly, it ruined my dining experience to the point where I could not even play bingo later in the commune area. Ow! Got his ass. Dude, Deb, what are you doing? Deb, thank you, Deb, but don't blow the bank, baby. Don't blow the bank. Save that money for when you go to medical school, which I know you're going to. And tell your family I said, hey. Hey, 3 cheers for Deb out there, huh? Hooking people up with a subscription. Whoa, Deb. Everybody, let's give Deb a follow. Thank her. If you see her at one of the 98 Rock events and or Ravens Walk thing, she's always out there flying her purple flag. She's got that smoky Amy Winehouse eye makeup going on. Oh! Son of a bitch! Saint Deb, we call her. Did the stadium give you any guff about using their name in your Twitch? No. Nope. None at all. And if they do, well, what's probably going to happen, frankly, is I am going to switch the name, and you guys won't have to do anything. So if one day you see that the name has been switched to the DLP Agenda, there you go. So that's it. As long as I don't use any logos or any copyrighted material, I'm good to go. So that's it. But yes, at some point, trying to keep everything underneath the DLP brand, you will probably see this channel become the DLP, twitch.tv/DLP Agenda. So if you're looking for Justin 98 Rock one day and don't see it, that'll be what happened. So don't stress. How do you know who can be gifted? Yeah, I think you got to click on individual people and gift them that, you know, how do I get my ass through that door? God, it's been a long time since I got this far in this game. I wonder if it has anything to do with me pumping in virtual quarters. I will tell you, one of my favorite things on that trip to Japan, arcades still exist. Ocean City, I love you, but you're way too trashy and way too expensive, and your arcades are just absolute spoiled breast milk these days. The Ocean City arcades that used to be the thing of legend, you'd see all kinds of new titles out there. I remember seeing Tekken 2 for the first time. I saw that amazing Sega holographic fighter out there. First time I ever saw Altered Beast was in the Ocean City arcades. It's nothing but dog shit claw machines, skee ball, gigantic Space Invader machines. What a shame. There is one awesome old school arcade up in like 132nd Street where it's old school. They still got Lethal Enforcers, Terminator 2. It's got a real Crabtown, USA feel. Which, by the way, this is just for you guys, okay? This is for Deb. This is for Drew. Flapjack and the Pickle. Arcades were awesome when I was a kid. And just nonstop strep throat. Yeah, it was a guaranteed UTI and a pink eye session, but you know what? Playing some time killers was worth it. Just to be able to chainsaw some guy's head off while a 9-year-old behind you screamed because he was just trying to play Space Harrier and had you just decapitate some son of a bitch. I even had a console TV set up with an NES. Next year, right around February, for my birthday, I am trying to do a live birthday broadcast from Crabtown, USA, which is one of my favorite arcades outside of the one that I built in my home. And I want to do a broadcast from inside of there. I want to see if there's some way that we can like give away $50 in quarters or something. So you guys heard it here first. Next year, April, huge 98 Rock JSS event. That's one thing. But in February, I'm trying to do the JSS Birthday Spectacular at Crabtown. That would work. Yeah, it should work. Like you said, seniority gets it. My birthday on the 7th of February. Hackman, you piece of ass, you. What's it with good-looking people being born in February? But I would love it if y'all were able to attend next year. Oh. Deb, I'm not so much sure I'd call it a bacon and beer, but like maybe a birthday cake and beer? Something like that? I don't know. We'll see. It's like in the most preliminary of stages. Because usually that place opens up in the afternoon. And you know, our seafood spot. Our seafood spot is 100%. What the hell? Why'd that pop up? Is Jimmy's famous? So I feel bad going to another seafood restaurant because I'm basically going for the arcade. John and Crab Cakes, John Minadakis. You know I never stray from you, baby. It's the only seafood I want to eat. You hand me crabs from anybody from other than Jimmy's Famous Seafood, I'll smack it out of your slut hands. Get famous with Jimmy's Famous. Oh, yeah, so there's going to be another St. Patty's Day bacon and beer. We were trying to get a Halloween one off the ground, but we couldn't just because the place we were looking at was a little small and a little overbooked, frankly. So Kirk and Marianne are doing their haunted homes and gardens this year, which is awesome. Shout out to the Boom Boom Room. But yeah, Hackman, dude, you know what they're about there. I love it. They got pinball, they got clacks, they got Marvel vs. Capcom, they got Lethal Enforcers. The only thing I wish they had was a couple of more Sega titles. I wish they had like Virtua Fighter, Virtua Cop. But yeah, we're going to see what we can do about getting some people in Crabtown, USA. Right now, it's literally just the germ of an idea. So, know that I'm trying. I can tell you about another failed idea of mine from years ago. I wanted to do the Justin Backyard Punk Skate Rock Barbecue over at the Hamden Skate Park, where I wanted to have a barbecue, skate contest, small outdoor punk rock show, and we couldn't get the insurance for it. Station was all about it, but couldn't do it. Thank you to Skate Park Stephanie Murdoch, who, if anybody here knows Stephanie Murdoch, she is the patron saint of Baltimore and surrounding areas skateboarding, and she's the one that got the parks built in and around Baltimore. She is too good for this world. She's like a Joe Stamboni, just too damn good for this world. She was working with me to try and get this Justin Backyard Skateboard Punk Rock Barbecue off the ground, and just never happened. Scoots, dude, I was at the one with the bands for Lansdowne. I think it was a parking issue why we couldn't do it there, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll do another one. I would like to do something at Dave Dennis's basement, but Dave Dennis's house is so nice. We will steal half of everything in his home, including fixtures right off the walls. Half of Dave Dennis's house is actual gold. Someone will make love to his pets. We will steal his fireplace out back, and there's not a chance that air fire survives. So Dave Dennis's house is actually too nice for what I have planned. For the Justin Schlegel Birthday Crab Stravaganza at Crabtown, USA. It would be awesome to be able to do it Crabtown in the morning and Jimmy's for food in the afternoon. And also, please help spread the word, twitch.tv/Justin98Rock. Trying to get 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I want to try and get... My goal is 500 subscribers. Yes, Jeremy will break another bottle of whiskey. Jesus, Jeremy Woodworth, I love you. Smooth Jeremy, we call him these days. He got his... he got his psoriasis under control, and now instead of being Mr. Parmesan, he's Smooth Italian Marble Boy. Oh, damn it. Has Joe held any tryouts? No, and that is a great point, Stewie. Tonight might be the night where we start to look at the Joe 2023 brand new friend draft. Minzer won. Frankly, I think Dave Dennis's was beautiful. New friend Larry was before that. I think it's time. Echo the Dolphin was your only friend. That is a tragic-ass childhood. If all you had was Echo... By the way, I don't cuss a lot on this Twitch stream. Fuck Echo the Dolphin. That game was abysmal. It wasn't. I just didn't understand it. It was one of those games like Comic Zone where I was so bad at it, I could never play it. I played Tides of Time. I played the second one. I played the one on Dreamcast. I tried, man. I tried the Sega CD one. No dice. My only friend was my burn barrel out back, and this guy we needed to call Stinky Joe, who lived in the basement. I'd give him foot rubs, and he'd give me cigarettes while my dad was at work. He used to call me his favorite little secret keeper. Oh, God. Back to the game. Oh, nothing like Stinky Joe's surprise massages. I'm going to help you with your homework if you help me with these bunions. It did have a dark-ass soundtrack. I will tell you that. That Echo the Dolphin, if you ever played it, at the end it had this weird, like, strange alien twist to it. Like, out of nowhere, there was a gigantic xenomorph. Oh my God, is Echo the Dolphin canon in the alien world? Did Sigourney Weaver play our favorite Echo? By the way, fun fact, speaking of aliens. Hey, what's up, Stewie? Oh, Stewie's giving out gifts. Man, 15 subscriptions. Guys, come on, man. What are you guys doing? This is, thank you so much. Why did I just do the LL Cool J kiss my fingers thing? God, the next time I do that, just give me a middle finger emoji. My dad borrowed my computer when I was younger. I had the first desktop in the house. And I showed him how to use the search engine Ask Jeeves. You could ask Jeeves anything. I remember coming home one day and clicking, and in the drop-down bar was a search that was entered while I was at school for nude Sigourney Weaver. My dad was looking up nude pictures of Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the game. I mean, frankly, I did just a ton of cranking to Linda Hamilton. Sarah Connor steamed my beans. Just watching her do pull-ups on that bed frame had me reach for the juggins. Here we are. It's this wheelchair-bound bastard that's got Cody's girlfriend. It's the evil, dastardly, draped, tuxedoed Belger. I always wanted to be able to ride the wheelchair. You never could. Now, what's funny is that if anybody ever played the Final Fight ripoff, Burning Fight, on the Neo Geo, and it was a Final Fight ripoff, which has a terrifying hobo moment in the game. If you listen to a DLP agenda before, you'll notice what happened in the game. I can't get into it here because it's too racy for me to discuss. That boss at the end of Burning Fight, I think his name was like Castranovo or something, was dressed identically to Belger from Final Fight, which I'm like, come on, man. Try and make him look a little bit different. He didn't have a, no, he did have a harpoon gun. God damn, they didn't even try on the Neo Geo. Well, for Burning Fight, the Neo Geo had a bunch of great titles, but still, they were just straight ripping it off. Yeah, I'm sorry to ruin your fan fiction there. He wasn't actually handicapped. Stolen handicapped valor. That son of a bitch just wanted really good parking in his condo. Kick his ass out the window. Come on. Come on. I always love doing a jump kick out the window. Out! Would you knock it off, you Robin, a Loxley wannabe son of a bitch? You'll notice how he hangs out near the window because he knows it's coming. Call Window Nation, bitch. Woo! Old Dirty CJ, people are gifting each other subscriptions all over the place, man. Can't thank you enough. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Oh, Father, I was so scared. I'm so glad to see they didn't hurt you. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Smell my mustache. I thought I'd lost you like I'd lost your mother. I'll never let anything bad happen to you again. I love you, Father. Mwah. My goal was 5, and I blew clean past that. Now, Does anybody here, before I continue, remember the plot twist of all plot twists in this ending? Because it's coming up. This had kids shook in the arcade. They didn't know what was happening. Finally, Guy and Cody leaving after a job well done. Mission successful. Jessica rescued. Mad Gear Gang destroyed. And then, the betrayal of all betrayals. Cody! Ba ba ba! Boom! Pow! Ha! What was that about? Just Guy beats that ass and then takes off. Where are you going? How can you just walk away? Now, also, why did Guy beat the shit out of you and run off like a little bitch? I want to stay here with you, Jessica, but I can't. I have to go find out what the hell's Guy's problem. Not while evil still stalks the streets, including the character Justin just played as, and now smooch me on the lips. Game over. We got to do it. We got to set it up right. D L P. My friends, I cannot thank you enough for joining me for a little fun lunchtime retro gaming session tomorrow night on the channel. If you're watching this live, it is the 17th of October, the 18th, 7 p.m. We're going to do a live stream. We're going to get back into some cyberpunk, maybe another Halloween horror spooktacular. October 27th, 28th, Magoobies.com and DieLaughingPodcast.com. And tonight, we're going to be streaming live on the brand new YouTube channel. Deb, how about 3 cheers for Deb for taking care of people, hooking them up with all those subscriptions? Webb, CJ, Scoots, Mr. Hackman, everybody else here in the channel. I can't thank you all enough. Let's play again soon.